submit to men.
Why would any woman willingly subject herself to any man?
What does it mean to submit to your husband?
The concept of submission has been unfairly stigmatized by mainstream media who have distorted its meaning.
It sounded like oppression, and it started talking about control versus allowing your partner to influence you.
It has been wrongly portrayed as a tool of domination, slavery, or a construct of men in high positions aimed at oppressing women. However, in reality, submission is crucial for fostering successful marriages and relationships, as it embodies the complementary energy that draws in the masculine counterpart. Before we delve into this topic, let me make this disclaimer. I'm not perfect. I'm not part of a perfect marriage or world. I am not in the business of selling unrealistic perfection. If you were expecting one of those videos that speak of perfect relationships, you best swipe up and move along. If you know that you are work in progress, stay with me. Are you still there?
Mainstream media has spread the idea that anything a man can do, a woman can do too. While this message aims for gender equality, it ignores the difference between men and women.
Is there a difference between women and men?
The truth is, men and women are different. This isn't controversial, as some people would like to put it. It's science. These differences are a fundamental part of being human. However, modern ideas of women empowerment sometimes blur these distinctions. They push for a society where men and women are treated exactly the same in the name of equality, often overlooking and devaluing the unique traits of each gender. Yes, while this sounds fair, it does not account for individual differences and needs. There is a big problem with this approach. It suggests that for women to be equal, they must act like men, as if masculinity is better than femininity. Because of this, many women feel submission is a form of slavery and weakness.
Like the poles of a magnet, unlike poles will attract. Like poles, on the other hand, will automatically repel. Submission creates the perfect yin, femininity, and yang in its masculine counterpart. Energies that come together to create that perfect balance. That is why most women aren't attracted to men that act like women, those so-called simps. The same happens with the reverse. Men are attracted to soft, gentle, feminine traits that come from their polar opposites. Yes, to the tomboys out there, myself included, even we have that perfect femininity that every man is looking out for.
What's happening now is women are getting married older and older. So they get to that point whereby they are now ready. They're now ready. But who wants your 40-year-old ass? Then we complain when they go for the slightly younger ones. So you fail to submit and now you fail to do other things.
I know. There's a brigade in the wings that is ready to come through. But do hold your horses.
The truth is, there is a sell-by date. Whether we are willing to accept it or not, there is a sell-by date. I'm seated like this. In another 20 years, I'll not be able to. So what could have been easy for me to do when I was much younger becomes harder and harder the older we get.
Even in same-sex relationships, there is one that will act feminine and the other that will act masculine. This is because in order for attraction to happen, there has to be these two energies that work in harmony. It is the same reason why when you shout at your man, please now, I'm not saying disagree, what happens to your boo? He often goes either mute or simply walks away. Because in his subconscious mind, you have positioned yourself as a man would if you were going to war. And that in itself immediately needs to be repelled by him. There is profound wisdom captured in an Uganda proverb. Which loosely translates to the strength of a chain lies in its softness. Have you ever seen a super big, strong chain that is stiff, lock-jawed with rust? With time, that tension, that corrosion causes the chain to snap. Now imagine that very same big, strong, stiff chain dabbed with some oil on it. Watch how the softness from the lubrication slowly releases that tension. A woman's femininity, those qualities, that oil can soften and empower her masculine partner, making him submit to her every whim. On the other hand, once a man is well marinated in the beauty of feminine submission, he makes it a priority to glorify his woman because his chain is now set and oiled to hold his family in place. Together in this state, each contributes to the strength and harmony of the relationship. Manage. I'm guessing by now, you now understand the secret behind why that friend of yours you keep calling basic is constantly being gifted and showered with tiny sweet praises by her husband. It is the same reason a man will sleep in the same bed with a woman for 7 years with zero commitment, and the very same man will meet another and put a ring on it in less than 7 months. Femininity, ladies. Femininity. Mainstream media has often equated the concept of submission in marriage to a curse word. But what if I told you that submission isn't what you think? Ladies, the idea of submission isn't one of weakness or bondage, but of voluntarily yielding of strength. In fact, the word submit is translated from a Greek word which basically means to voluntarily subject, indicating a willingness to place oneself under another's authority. It does not imply helplessness on your part, but rather a conscious choice to entrust yourself to your husband's leadership in marriage. You are probably wondering why this instruction may initially sound alarming to the modern ear. In our African culture, our forefathers had systems that helped the young generation transition into adulthood. Unlike Basenga Balero, who speak mostly about bedroom sessions, the old system came with a comprehensive course unit on the vision of what marriage should look like for both sexes, because even they understood the power of the two energies. I could pick another example from the Bible that speaks of women submitting to their husbands. It's crucial to understand that the submission referenced here is not to every man out there, but to your own husband. Not your boyfriend, not your casual partner, not your boss, and definitely not any charming acquaintance from your social circles. No. It is for your husband, the one that you hopefully love and trust deeply, one you have committed to spend your life together whilst building a future together. That's the guy I'm talking about. The guy you said I do to.
I was having this conversation with one of my young girlfriends, and she's like, you know what, Kevin, I will submit when I'm good and ready. Right now, I am living my life, which is good. The only problem is sometimes by the time you're good and ready, you're like that tire that it no longer even has the treads on, like the enrollers, no longer has the treads on, because guess what? It has done the mileage.
And for you, gentlemen, be that man that a woman craves to submit to. Most men tend to think that women are attracted to money alone. We are, but the problem with this line of thought is that it does not explain successful relations where the woman makes more money than her man. The truth is, women are attracted to centeredness and purpose. Your purpose as a man has to come before your emotions. David Dider, a well-known author in the realm of relationships and spirituality, often discusses the concept of masculine and feminine quality. According to Dider, the kind of man a woman submits to is the one who embodies a strong sense of purpose, direction, and presence. This man is grounded in his masculine energy, which is characterized by decisiveness. I mean, a woman wants to be led, not to be asked where they'd like to have dinner. Instead, call your woman, tell her you're taking her to her restaurant. Integrity and deep connection to his mission in life. A man loves and honors the feminine essence in his partner, creating a space where she feels safe to surrender, submit, and trust his leadership. Just like in the Buganda kingdom, Kabakatafuka, Alamula Bulamu Sid. That is why we call him Bafe, our husband. In other words, the king does not rule, he simply mediates as a man should in a home. Not this simpies, Mr. Nice guy. I'm talking about the good man. Good man protects his family, provides, and for goodness sake, leads like a true leader with purpose. The man a woman submits to, according to Dider, is one who embraces his masculinity while cherishing and empowering his feminine form. A man who remains centered no matter what his woman does. That is the kind of man that a woman will submit to.
So if you do get a chance that you meet somebody who you'd like to spend your life with, do it now. Do it now. Don't wait for later. That guy was supposed to marry me. Why didn't he? How about you submit to this one man? Grow with him. Let him learn to understand you. So that even when your boobs are sagging and your face has grown old, there is still that one person who looks at you and says, look at this.
We are living in the time, in the generation where we as a people can choose to intentionally change our lives for the better. Now is the time for each of us to enter a new season of our lives where we can see happiness for what it is. That kabozi over, it will end in tears, or you see happy couples and you see them moving around and your first reaction is, Chirarika, they are pretending to be happy. Madam, Mister, the truth is there are many couples out there enjoying their marriage. It is time we stepped out of our delusional world and chose to align ourselves in our true feminine nature. Remember, unhappy people see an unhappy world. And in time, unhappy parents often raise unhappy children. So, Why don't we